Okay, here we go. Turn the camera around. Hold it out here. This is Jim again. I'm shooting a few little videos, some tools. This, that, and the other, and we'll do a little talking as we shoot. Okay, so to start with, we're going to show the tool I had yesterday here. This is a cutoff tool I made, and if you'll notice that it's got extra holes. The holes along here hold the thing. These holes, these four, and these up here was on the material when I used it. Basically, if you look at it, I machined it where it clamps right in there like that, and you'll see what the relief is in here, and the other where it fits in the dovetail. That's the loops. And everybody has them, so instead of throwing it away, I had too much time in it when I got down to it. I tried it out the other day, and it works really well. This is a boring bar. It's cut down. The inserts come from the day job. Basically, one of these deals that we run, I work for a large company, and people bring in stuff to try, and they try them out. And they end up a lot of times not being maybe work not much better than what we're using or things like that. So a lot of times they end up in the engineer's drawer, supervisor's drawer, somebody's drawer, and then there's a big cleanup comes through. That's what happened with this. See, at this particular insert, these trigons, clean up. See, you got to lay them home. Take them home with you. This is the little one, the little bearing tools that so many of the guys you've seen on YouTube. Mine's made with a piece of square tubing, works just well. Now, I've got my dies. I use my dies a lot. Let me see if I can get this to focus. Craftsman. These are a Craftsman set. In fact, this is a standard set, and it's fairly old. I mean, I've had dies, since, it was a Christmas present from my parents. So when I started using a lathe, I needed a way to hold them. So I just put it in it. So what this is a simple 1-inch socket, drilled and tapped and welded on for set screw to hold it. Drive is turned down to fit in the lathe chuck. And this works really. And then inside of it is a piece of aluminum to hold the die in place. Then the last handmade tool I have here to show you, a little spanner wrench I use on the mill. It fits in the bottom actually. I just took a piece of steel, turned it, drilled it, and pinned it. Works real good. It's a fairly simple tool. Nothing fancy. And then another one of my nice homemade tools on my lathe. I don't use some of the guys, and you see the pictures where they have the dial calipers mounted. Mine, what I did, and this is before I had the mill when I made this, is I just took a piece of, here where you see the bottom, I just took a piece of basic steel, bored it out to fit the tailstock. Then I just took my little welder and tacked them together, and this is painted and got a little knurl piece. Then I just set my indicator up there like this to check the drill. Simple, effective, not a lot of trouble. Same thing here. This is just basically a socket that's been cut off and some sorry welding and a bolt actually, and a knurled handle. This is just an Allen wrench with a handle. And then, I was showing the lathe the other day, and when I first got my mill, I think the first project that I took on, let me see if I can slide this out of here a little better in the light. I got the lathe locked. Is this workstop. This is made out of aluminum. You'll see there's a little screw here to it. Back here we'll get a little more light there on the subject. And it's just basically a threaded rod with brass tip and a little knurled. And this is basically a clamp. It was actually another one of them give to me jobs. And you'll see how it fits on the lathe lathe. I use that a lot more because a lot of times if I'm going to find something, I'll set the stop and then just use an indicator and just turn it instead of trying to turn the cross slide. And that's the other thing a lot of people probably say, why don't you use Well, why not? I mean, the guy that trained me how to use lathe, this is the way he had his and said all the time. And his good enough, Bill Simpson, probably good enough for me. And the lathe table, I'm going to back up here. The lathe table itself, that is a find. When I bought the lathe, I was going to build a table. I was living in Statesville, North Carolina at the time, had a little building. And I went to Habitat Restore shop. And I was looking for maybe an old dresser or dressing table, something fairly sturdy, maybe a kitchen table to set it on. And I seen these cabinets. And the cabinets, I think, is like $50 or maybe $75. It was made by a company up in Statesville called Kiwi Scientific that goes in offices. And I just took the cabinets, screwed them together, bolted, took a piece of half-inch plywood and doubled it and bolted. And then I have, it's got roller drawers. This first drawer, it's got all my oils, cutting oils. I got a little bottle of this Anchor Lube Stan them told you how to get. I've used it, but I've got so much cutting oil, I have a hard time doing it. The other drawer here, I've just got a little bit of my gears and some sandpaper in it right now. And this last one, I put my drill bits in. And some of the other things, like the top drawer of my toolbox, and I'll show you how old my tap and die set is. That's an old Craftsman set. And that is basically what I use every day. Oh, when I'm working out here with tap and die, I put my that. I got a couple hole saws in that drawer, a few things like that. And yesterday too, I unwrapped finally my birthday present. It was about 6 weeks ago, and my darling fiance gave me this. I never had a belt sander, so now I have one. So basically, gentlemen, I'm going to kind of, like I say, pull back here. I hope you enjoyed this. A little rambling. I'm going to point the floor. Let me see if I can turn this back around where you can see me a minute. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I'm not a production whiz. I know people who can make videos. I mean, outside the great ones I see on YouTube. I'm highly don't want to invest in equipment. I mean, my main hobby is making parts, making things in the shop, and piddling around. And trying to chase a white ball around a little bit, too, in the summer. So, I just wanted to start trying to contribute to a few things to the community. I've got some projects I'll probably start working on a little bit, taking pictures of, videos of, kind of try to do things. But I hope some of the things I showed you about these toolings to show guys that looks at these things and say, hey, there's other ways to skin a cat. And that's what I wanted to get across. So have a great day, and we'll post this up for you.